Hello friends, I welcome you all to the class of English Compulsory second year. We have been dealing with poetry section. In this unit, there are two poems. The first poem is Love, written by S.T. Coleridge. S.T. Coleridge is one of the leading romantic poets. The present poem, Love, deals with the glorification of love. As far as form of the poem is concerned, there are 24 stanzas in this poem, and each stanza consists of 4 lines. This is typical style of S.T. Coleridge. He has used quatrain of 4 lines to compose each stanza of this poem. The poem speaks about the glorification of love. There is a story within story. Entire poem is dealing with the story of the poet and his imaginary beloved, and he narrates very interesting but heart touching story to his beloved. In the beginning of the poem, the poet appreciates beauty, he appreciates charmness of his beloved. She is very happy, she has no sorrow at all. But when the poet starts singing a song of the night and his beloved, she becomes sad, she is sorrowful listening to the story which is being narrated by the poet to his beloved. In the last class, we saw that the poet narrated a story of the lady of the land and the knight. The knight had deep love and affection for his beloved, the lady of the land. He loved her right from the core of his heart, but she did not love him. Moreover, she just pretended to be loving him. When he expressed his feelings, his love, his affection, his beloved lady of the land rejected him. When his love was rejected by the lady of the land, he wandered here and there in the forest in search of his love. It was not possible for him to remove the sweet memories of his beloved from his heart and mind. When he was wandering in the forest, there he came across a spirit. At the outset he thought, or he felt, that it was an angel, but later on he realized it was nothing but devil. He came across a band of evil-minded people. There was a band of evil-minded people. They tried to attack his beloved, and in order to save her chastity, the knight very bravely defended his beloved against them, and in the process of saving her from the evil-minded people, he was mortally wounded at his arm. Finally, the woman and the wounded knight enter the cave in which she nurses him, and there she realizes his love and affection for her, and she feels guilty. This is what we saw in the previous class. Today we are going to deal with the textual explanation of rest of the 8 stanzas of the poem Love written by S.T. Coleridge. Today we are going to deal with stanza number 17 to stanza number 24. Let us deal with these stanzas now. Stanza number 17. His dying words. But when I reached that tenderest strain of all the ditty, my flattering voice and pausing harp disturbed her soul with pity. All impulses of soul and sense had thrilled my guileless Genevieve. The music and the doleful tale, the rich and blamy you, and hopes and fears that kindle hope, and undistinguishable strong, and gentle wishes long subdued, and cherished long. She wept with pity and delight, she blushed with love and virgin shame, and like the murmur of a dream, I heard her breathe my name. Her bosom heaved, she stepped aside, as conscious of my look she stepped, then suddenly, with timorous eye, she fled to me and wept. She half enclosed me with her arms, she pressed me with a meek embrace, and bending back her head, looked up and gazed upon my face. It was partly love and partly fear, and partly it was a bashful art that I might rather feel than see the swelling of her heart. I calmed her fears and she was calm, and told her love with virgin pride, and so I won my Genevieve, my bright and beauteous bride. Her bosoms heaved, she stepped aside, as conscious of my look she stepped, then suddenly with timorous eye she fled to me and wept. She half enclosed me with her arms, and she pressed me with a meek embrace, and bending back her head, looked up and gazed upon my face. It was partly love and partly fear, and partly it was a bashful art, that I might rather feel than see the swelling of her heart. I calmed her fears and she was calm, and told her love with virgin pride, and so I won my Genevieve, my bright and beauteous bride. So dear students, in stanza number 17, his dying words, but when I reached that tenderest strain of all the ditty, my flattering voice and pausing harp disturbed her soul with pity. In the 17th stanza of the poem, the poet narrates the knight's last words. At this point of time, the poet perceives that Genevieve is moved, and he pauses in his tale, and he does not wish to disturb his beloved too greatly. In the 18th stanza of the poem, all impulses of soul and sense had thrilled my guileless Genevieve, the music and the doleful tale, the rich and blamy you. The poet's story has deeply moved the simple Genevieve. The music, sad story, the fading evening light has had an enormous effect on his lady love. In this stanza of the poem, hearing to the story of the poet, his beloved soul and senses are deeply affected. Let us come down to the 19th stanza of the poem. And hopes and fears that kindled hope, and undistinguishable, strong and gentle wishes long subdued and cherishing long. She wept with pity and delight, she blushed with love and virgin shame, and like the murmur of a dream, I heard her breathe my name. In this 18th and 19th and 20th stanza of the poem, in the 19th stanza of the poem, the beloved is afraid. Fears crowd Geneviève's feelings. She imagines herself in the situation of the lady of the land, which is the reaction the poet was hoping for. She is now more amenable to his affections. She wept with pity and delight. She blushed with love and virgin shame, and like the murmur of a dream, I heard her breathe my name. She weeps with pity and happiness. She is shy and embarrassed to reveal her emotions, but the poet finally has the happiness of hearing her call his name. Her bosom heaved, she stepped aside, as conscious of my look she stepped, then suddenly with timorous eye she fled to me and wept. In the in this stanza, she shyly yet openly runs into the arms of her beloved, fulfilling the response he had been hoping for. She half enclosed me with her arms, she pressed me with a meek embrace, and bending back her head, looked up and gazed upon my face. This is the reaction of beloved, and the poet expected for the same reaction or response from his beloved. This is a dramatic scene in which the beloved puts her arms around him, draws him to her, and looks into his face. It was partly love and partly fear, and partly it was a bashful art that I might rather feel than see the swelling of her heart. I calmed her fears, and she was calm, and told her love with virgin pride, and so I won my Genevieve, my bright and beauteous bride. So finally, the poet wins his beloved. The final stanza has the poet's desired ending, where he reassures his beloved that a fate such as that of the knight and the lady of the land will not be theirs. There would not be the end of end. There would not be the end to their stories as good as the end of the story of the knight and his beloved lady of the land. So he consoles her, saying that their fate would not be the fate would not be the fate of the knight and the lady of the land. Reassures his beloved, he acknowledges her love for him, and the poet joyfully informs the readers that this was how he won his beautiful bride. So, dear students, with this, I would like to uh, declare that we have come across the textual explanation of the poem Love, written by S.T. Coleridge, in which the poet he expects love and affection from his beloved as he loves her, and in order to uh, make her emotional, he sings a song of love and affection, or he sings a song of love between the lady of the land, and the knight, and how they meet their tragic end. Uh, the poet assures his beloved that there would not be such a tragic end to their love story, And finally, he uh, gets a response from his beloved, and he is very happy, and he informs the readers in the last stanza of the poem that he won his beloved, and he won his beautiful bride as well. With this, I would like to remain here. In the following class, we shall deal with the next poem in this poetry section, that is Courage, written by Anna Sexton. So, dear students, with this, I would like to conclude today's talk. Thank you very much.